For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
There was an empty lot sitting by my gas station. I always wondered what I can do with that lot. Back in 2012, built that laundry. I was always looking for some local bank where they could make decisions right on the spot. It's very convenient, and a lot of the employees at ProFed know me personally. So I asked them for a loan, and they actually came to our facility to give us a loan for the real estate as well as for the equipment. Before I came to United States from India, I had a business for 10 years in India. So I have always been entrepreneurial. Until last year, we had 8 gas stations. We had 40 single-family houses. We have about 5,000 apartments all over the nation. ProFed has always offered me whatever I wanted to get to that level. ProFed is a good partner to be with.
Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Behind every flawless performance,
or game-changing meeting,
or important broadcast,
and even a powerful Sunday morning worship service,
there are people just like us.
Well, us actually.
Our mission is to partner with you
to design the best audio, visual, and technology experience that meets your needs.
And then step back behind the curtain to make sure it always runs without a glitch.
We are Force Tech.
Bienvenidos a Fort Wayne, a la Summit City, or La Ciudad de Summit. Hello, folks. For those of you who may not understand, this is welcome to the Summit City in Fort Wayne for your international friendly between Fort Wayne FC and Atlas FC's U-23 squad. Always one of the best matches you will see throughout the summer here at Bishop Darcy Stadium, as we've got my partner Luca Multa joined alongside me. Braden Carroll, the third member of our broadcast crew. You will hear from him in just a moment. But Luca, when you look at Fort Wayne FC, they are coming off back-to-back losses for the first time since their inaugural season. We're going to see a lot of different faces for Mike Avery's crew today, and it's a great opportunity for them to get back on track.
Yeah, Josh, it's a good opportunity for all these guys coming on the pitch today, and it's a good opportunity for Fort Wayne as a team to get some fresh air. As you said, team coming from back-to-back losses. It's always good to play against a different team, an international match, as it is here today. The fans are all excited about this game, and it's good for the team to face a different challenge, to have this opportunity to face a team that they are not used to face, and use this opportunity to prepare for the league games.
With this being the 5th season of Fort Wayne FC soccer, this is also the 5th international friendly in program history. Last year was the first time that Fort Wayne FC won one of these international friendlies, that being a 4-1 win against Chivas' U-23 squad. So they're going to see another side, another U-23 squad out of Liga MX with Atlas FC, and they are one of the best academy systems you will see down in Mexico.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting to see like 2 different styles of play like we're going to see here today. The Mexican academies are usually very technical, like they like to keep the ball, they like to keep the possession, and it's something that Fort Wayne also likes to see. Here on Fort Wayne, we see more of like the college soccer type of football, like a team that is intense, a team that wants to play with this high tempo, and we are probably going to see for Atlas a team that's very technical, a team that wants to keep the ball, wants to play with all this quality that they always bring here.
Gorgeous field conditions for today. A little toasty, but not as toasty compared to what we saw earlier this week here in Fort Wayne. For more on your conditions for today's pitch, let's throw down to the third member of our broadcast crew, Braden Carroll.
Well, guys, it's a little bit toasty down here. We're looking at about 85 degrees on the pitch. And if you think about it, clear skies, it feels like about 88 here. and the USL2 threshold is 86 degrees to have a hydration break. So we are going to expect to see some hydration breaks throughout this match. It will be one in the first half, one in the second half. This is the second straight home match that will happen, last against West Virginia United. So it's a bit hot down here, but nothing that these players can't handle. They've already been through temperatures like this. They're expecting more of the same.
Thank you for that, Braden. We'll be hearing plenty from him throughout the course of the evening. But for now, we'll take a step aside as we inch closer to kickoff in your international friendly between Fort Wayne FC and Atlas FC. That is coming up right next on Fort Wayne FC's YouTube channel. I guess you can't really say Sports Engine because it's on YouTube today.
There was an empty lot sitting by my gas station. I always wondered what I can do with that lot. Back in 2012, built that laundry. I was always looking for some local bank where
At least by the standards of this fan, rare home loss for Fort Wayne FC, that being a 2-0 loss against West Virginia United. Still, despite the fact that Fort Wayne was on the wrong side of the scoreboard, always an electric atmosphere here at Bishop Darcy Stadium, and certainly a sign that this is far from a finished product as we enter the home stretch of the season.
Yeah, like as you mentioned, like a rare result. It's not common for these fans to see Fort Wayne FC losing at home. We could see on the game that Fort Wayne didn't play on the standards that we are used to see the team playing. Was a game that was a little bit worse, the performance that we are used to see, but still was a decent game, was an even game, and West Virginia was on the right side of the score. They had a penalty on the first half, then they scored an amazing goal from halfway line, so they got the result and kind of slow it down for Fort Wayne FC that with the win could be really close to a division title, but it's still everything to play. Still 2 points clear in the Valley Division and still have every chance to win the title.
With that, let's turn it back down to the pitch where Braden is talking with some of the ball boys of today's match.
My name is Henry and my favorite football
My name is Drew. He's starting to get. I'm able to make
My name is Will and my favorite football club is Benfica.
I only heard one say Fort Wayne FC. We got to work on that, but let's give a big round of applause for our ball boys.
saves lives, like Madden's.
For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They've shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
There was an empty lot sitting by my gas station. I always wondered what I can do with that lot. Back in 2012, built that laundry. I was always looking for some local bank where they could make decisions right on the spot. It's very convenient, and a lot of the employees at ProFed know me personally. So I asked them for a loan, and they actually came to our facility to give us a loan for the real estate as well as for the equipment. Before I came to United States from India, I had a business for 10 years in India. So I have always been entrepreneurial. Until last year, we had 8 gas stations. We had 40 single-family houses. We have about 5,000 apartments all over the nation. ProFed has always offered me whatever I wanted to get to that level. ProFed is a good partner to be with.
Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Behind every flawless performance,
or game-changing meeting,
or important broadcast,
and even a powerful Sunday morning worship service,
there are people just like us.
well, us actually.
Our mission is to partner with you
to design the best audio, visual, and technology experience that meets your needs.
and then step back behind the curtain to make sure it always runs without a glitch.
We are Force Tech.
Back from Bishop Darcy Stadium as we are less than 8 minutes from kickoff in your international friendly between Fort Wayne FC and Atlas FC's U-23 squad. Now, before we look ahead to tonight's international friendly, let's take a look at where Fort Wayne FC stands in the Valley Division table. As we mentioned, Luca, not a great week for Fort Wayne FC, dropping back-to-back matches for the first time in 4 years. But the point still stands. They are still in control of their playoff fates. They still lead the Valley Division by 2 points over Lexington SC, and the magic number right now for this club is 4 points. Any combination of wins or draws for Fort Wayne, or any loss or draw for Lexington, will help them achieve that magic number over the final couple weeks of the season.
Yeah, as you mentioned, not a great week for Fort Wayne FC, but the separation that the team created in the first weeks of the season put them in this position right now. Because even with a bad week, Fort Wayne still in the first position, still has 2 points clear compared to Lexington. So as you mentioned, like Fort Wayne still depends only on them. So if Fort Wayne wins all the games that they have in hand, they're going to be the champions. If Lexington doesn't do their job, Fort Wayne can be the champions with ties and even with other results. So even if this week was not the best, Fort Wayne is still in a good position to win the championship.
So Fort Wayne actually has a bit of a scheduling quirk. They have back-to-back friendlies, and their next regular season match isn't until the final week of the regular season. That is coming up on July 8th, or rather that Wednesday on July 9th, as they take on the Dayton Dutch Lions. With that, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the statistical leaders for this season, and it all starts with Caio Oliveira. He has 6 goals already this season, including his 6th of the year in the most recent match against Kings Hammer Columbus, that coming on a penalty kick. He's quickly rewriting the record books in just 1 season here, Luca.
Yeah, no, Caio has been amazing for the team. Caio is contributing not only with goals, but with assists, and by the way he plays, he's a very good player. And a very good thing about this team is that they don't rely on only one player. We could see Caio scoring, Buba dragging penalties, Tavio assisting, Thiago Campos scoring, Anthony scoring. We could see many different players scoring, and the team itself is scoring from set pieces, pressing the ball and scoring a goal, building from the back. So it's a team that can hurt the opponent in many different ways and from many different guys.
One other stat that we should mention, Gaku Nishimura, he has 3 assists in his Fort Wayne FC career in his 2 seasons here. That is currently tied for 3rd in the most in Fort Wayne FC history. So a lot of credit going to him for setting up his other teammates for success. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting 11 for both sides tonight. And we'll begin with the visitors of Atlas FC. They are led by head coach Javi Moran. This is their 4th match in 8 days, all against USL2 competition, I should say. And it all starts with their lead striker, Alonso Ripoll. Ripoll, last season, scoring 6 goals combined between the Apertura and the Clausura. Those are the fall and the spring seasons. Joining him in the attack, you've got Gerardo Gomez and Rodrigo Cardenas. Cardenas actually scored in a 1-0 win on Wednesday night against the Flint City Bucks. So that will definitely catch the attention of Fort Wayne FC fans who know all too well about Flint City, unfortunately. Routing out your midfielders, you have got Luis Suarez. Nope, not that Luis Suarez from Uruguay. The other Luis Suarez who was climbing up the ranks with this Atlas system. You've also got Jesus Guillen, Alvaro Beas, as well as Miguel Hernandez. And then your back line consists of Hector Medina, Eric Villegas, and Anthony Bautista with Luis Hernandez starting in net.
Yeah, no, it's a team that, as you mentioned, has come from a tough sequence here. 4 different games here playing against USL2 teams, and a team that's going to play, we expect them to play in a shape that's a little different. They play in a 3-4-3 or like 3-5-2. So it's going to be interesting to see how the match is going to be for Fort Wayne, how they're going to adjust to these tactical differences that Atlas is bringing here today.
As for Fort Wayne FC's lineup, they are led by head coach Mike Avery in his 5th season. Avery going with a lot of the reserves who may not have seen a lot of time so far this season, and for good reason, just knowing the breakneck pace that all of these players have to go throughout the course of a USL2 season. It's a good chance for a lot of these guys to really earn some minutes against some international competition. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at your starting 11. Starting in net, you've got Christian Herluf, who is coming off a tough loss at Kings Hammer Columbus. Not to mention, he is still 2-1 this season, but he has allowed 5 goals. So this will be a great opportunity for him to really get some of his mojo back. In that back line, in that 4-3-3 shape, you've got Reed Sproat, the Iron Man for this group. He's the only starter, along with Ideto Gondo and Al-Sadiq Hassan, who trade off with those starting minutes. And then joining in that other center back spot, you've got Ubar Daragon, who we have not really seen a ton this season. As for the midfielders, we've got Hugo Garcia, who has got a couple of goals this season, Virgil Delano, as well as Amari Fawkes. And then in the attack, you've got Oliver Muller-Jensen, who is coming back from an ankle injury, Venton Evans, as well as Owen Wall, who is making his first appearance since the season opener against Sueño FC. As we've got the starting 11 for both sides coming to the pitch, let's take a minute to give a shout out to some of Fort Wayne FC's partners, beginning with Fort Wayne Newspapers and the Journal-Gazette. Make sure to stay up to date on all the Fort Wayne FC news by subscribing to the Journal-Gazette, Fort Wayne's locally owned newspaper, and Optimum Performance Sports, OPS, the official sports medicine partner for the Fort Wayne FC. Rethink your limits with OPS. And finally, Ruoff Mortgage. Let Ruoff be your #1 choice for all your home ownership needs. Ruoff Mortgage is proud to be your home team. And with that, we've got a special presentation down on the pitches. We've got both the Mexican and the American national anthems. And a special shout out to both of our national anthem singers tonight. A fantastic crowd on hand. Always one of the best attended matches you will see at Bishop Darcy every single summer for Fort Wayne FC. And what is now the 5th international friendly for this program since its inaugural season back in 2021. And as part of the festivities, an exchange of kits between the captains, Reed Sproat and Alonso Ripoll. And Luca, it's always great to see matches like this, to truly embrace the world's game on a stage like this every summer.
Yeah, no, it's very nice to see like two different teams coming to two different countries playing, like facing each other. It's a worldwide game. It's the beautiful side of football. Now we see on Fort Wayne like players coming from every other side of the world, and we see here today also like a team coming from Mexico to play. So it's at the end of the day, it's a great party here today for the fans.
I know when we talked with Javi Moran yesterday as the team rolled into Fort Wayne, they were very excited to experience an atmosphere like this. Not unlike a lot of USL2 environments, when you grow up playing in this academy in Mexico, you're going to play in front of your family, maybe a few hundred fans, that's it. But for this group, they have got a fantastic audience watching this program tonight.
Yeah, no, it's a good opportunity for them as well. As you said, like they're in a good academy, but like in an academy level, you're not used to play in front of a lot of people. You play for the parents, for friends, but like here you're gonna have probably like a couple hundred people, like maybe thousands of people here. So it's good for these guys too.
So as we inch closer and closer to kickoff, as we mentioned, Mike Avery going with a completely different starting 11 for multiple reasons. One, just to give a lot of the usual starters and rotational guys some well-deserved rest. And two, just to see who else from this group can really make an impact and demonstrate to this coaching staff that they deserve a lot more minutes as Fort Wayne FC is about to hit the home stretch of the USL2 season.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a party for the fans, but for the players, it's always business. It's always important for them when they enter on the pitch to show their quality, to show that they want more minutes. I'm pretty sure that all the guys that have an opportunity here today want to show to the coaching staff that they deserve to play more, that they want to play more. So it's a great opportunity for them to show that here.
Now, if you're seeing on screen 3-digit numbers on the back of the Atlas FC kits, no, it's not a typo. It's not a graphic error. It's very typical in these academy systems in Liga MX that the players going through the academy will wear triple-digit numbers with the purpose of the double-digit numbers being reserved for the senior members of these clubs. As we are underway here at Darcy Stadium, international friendly between Fort Wayne FC and Atlas FC's U-23 squad. Our officiating crew for this evening: you've got Rogelio Alvarez, your center official, Dana Hackney, and Ryan Birdsall, your assistant refs, and Caleb Carrico is your fourth official. As Hideto Gondo will take this throw-in for Fort Wayne FC. The only familiar faces you will see for Fort Wayne today will be on that back line. We've got Sproat, one of the center backs. Gondo has had a handful of starts this season, as well as Al Sadiq Hassan. Virgil Delanol, a former standout out of Seton Hall. He has got some spot minutes throughout the course of the season. And an interesting tweak to the system today with that 4-3-3 shape. Al Sadiq Hassan is playing that other center back.
Yeah, no, he's a very versatile player, so we're going to see him today playing as a center back with Hubert playing on the left side.
Hubert, we have not really seen this season. D'Aragon, a standout out of Quebec City, Canada, playing college soccer at St. Mary's with the Gales.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to play in the very first game of the season against Dayton Dutch Lions in the road. Al Sadiq had an injury for this game, so Hubert played on this first game, but since then Al Sadiq went back and he's been waiting for this opportunity.
And if Villegas sends that back to the goalie, Luis Hernandez. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Atlas FC is coming off a 1-0 win over Flint City on Wednesday night. This is the 4th match in a furious 8-day stretch. They are getting the full-on USL2 experience as they opened up their US tour with a 6-1 loss to Peoria City. That was followed up by a 4-1 loss in South Bend against Northern Indiana FC, as Hernandez has to head that away, but the offsides flag is up for Venton Evans. And this is becoming more and more common as we see a lot of these academy teams, these developmental teams out of Liga MX, take some U.S. tours throughout the course of the summer during what's considered their off-season. Good chance for them to get some international exposure, play some different styles, as that is a poor first touch. Alvaro Beas is the guilty party, and it sets up a prime throw-in for Fort Wayne with Daragon. Here is Evans. Has not played since Fort Wayne's 4-2 win over the Dayton Dutch Lions. But a foul is called against Fort Wayne. So as we said, this is the 5th international friendly for Fort Wayne FC. Last year was the first time that Fort Wayne was on the right side of the scoreboard. It was a 4-1 victory over Chivas, their U-23 squad. Prior to that, Fort Wayne had lost in 2023 in their season finale to Atlante, which plays in Mexico's 2nd division. And then in 2022, they had a 1-1 draw against Tigres, another one of their academy teams. And then the very first international friendly back in 2021 was against the U-20 Chivas squad. That was a 2-1 loss. Nice sliding tackle by Daragon to take possession away from Cardenas. Excuse me, make that Miguel Hernandez. Here's Anthony Bautista. That ball deflected away by Amari Fawkes. So despite this being an international friendly, you know, when you take a look at this Atlas team, you know, they have every intention to come out and try to come away with a win today. You saw that competitive spirit in that 1-0 win at Flint City. A lot of jostling between those two sides, as that is a great takeaway for the moment. But Owen Wall is able to regain possession. As Fort Wayne resets possession, let's throw it down to the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Braden Carroll.
Well, guys, with Fort Wayne in possession, this is a bit of a starting lineup that has been unique towards this season. You look at a couple of the players who are in today. First off, Oliver Moeller Jensen is one of those guys who Fort Wayne fans have been waiting to see. He scored 2 goals in the season opening friendly against Sueño FC. He's been battling injuries throughout this season, so fans love to see him back in the action. And then you also have Owen Wall, an 18-year-old from UC Santa Barbara. That squad that made the NCAA tournament in his freshman year. He's a bit of a wild card that fans haven't seen yet have that starting position for Fort Wayne. So really anything can go here, but what is guaranteed is that these guys who haven't seen a lot of action are going to go out there and play their best soccer possible.
Yes, thank you for that, Braden. And not to mention, to add more motivation to this group, this team is coming off back-to-back losses for the first time since their inaugural season in 2021. So Mike Avery's crew is every bit as motivated to get off that schneid and get the good feelings back in the locker room. This is the first of back-to-back friendlies for Fort Wayne, as they will not have any regular season matches over a 2-week span. Here is Sprout for Fort Wayne, donning that captain's band today. Christian Herloof getting the starting nod today. And Venton Evans with solid pressure from behind. This is one thing to really keep an eye on with Atlas as the foul is called against Atlas. These kids grow up playing in this academy, you know, all the way from a U20 level now to U23s. They try to rise the ranks and join that senior club that plays in La Primera División. As we've got another tackle, this time against Gerardo Gomez. The big thing with this Atlas team, these guys have grown up around each other. The chemistry is already built in, which is the polar opposite to what you see from a USL2 squad that comes together and really has to get things clicking as soon as mid-May hits. So Hassan will reset with this free kick. Here's Moller Jensen. Plenty of time to operate as he feeds it back to Sproat. Of course, Fort Wayne known for playing their high pressing style, and Atlas wants to accomplish a very similar thing as you see that press early on. And like you mentioned, Luca, a lot of these Mexican clubs, very technical, and they want to be very possession-oriented.
Yeah, and something that's very interesting that Atlas is doing here today is not very conventional, but they're following the man until the end. So we see Fort Wayne moving the players, trying to create this space, but they just follow everybody until the end. So we can see like Venton dropped, and then the defender number 245, Villegas, came with him. So it's going to be very challenging for Fort Wayne to build from the back because everybody's going to be matched up, everybody's going to be marked man on.
And that's one thing that's very impressive, too, just knowing the high amount of matches that Atlas has played in a very short time. You aren't seeing with how they played through the first 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Ripoll feeding his man Gomez. And now Luis Suarez shares the name with the famous Uruguayan player. Anthony Bautista. Far side pass that sails over the head of his teammate. These international friendlies have always been a great challenge for Fort Wayne side. Both from a mental, a physical, a technical standpoint. As Atlas looks to counter back. Great read by Daragon to pick off that pass. Here comes Venton Evans as he is shoved down from behind. And Evans draws the foul as Miguel Hernandez is the guilty party. So a great chance early on for a set piece for Fort Wayne. This is a lot of what we saw on Wednesday night when Atlas took down Flint City 1-0. Cardenas with a bit of sportsmanship, trying to stall the attack and wait for his guys to set up defensively. Delano curling towards the net and snared down by Hernandez. A great read by the goalkeeper. Great placement by Delano, but just an even better read that time by Luis Hernandez.
Yeah, well done by Hernandez. The placement, as you mentioned, was very good by Virgil Delano. Putting in a dangerous spot was a good opportunity for Fort Wayne, but Hernandez came off his line and did a great job.
So now Fort Wayne trying to turn the tables on Atlas as they apply their press. Cardenas sheds off Moller Jensen. And now here is Bautista. Villegas out wide. Hector Medina loses control. And a bad pass. Able to intercept that. What a strike by Ripoll as it's wide of the post. Alonso Ripoll the striker for this Atlas U-23 squad. The sky is the limit for this young man. And he nearly puts Atlas on the board.
Wow, great moment for Atlas here. A turnover coming from number 15, Virgil. He tried to pass back to find a safe pass to Sadiq Hassan. But then number 244, Cardenas, was really smart, anticipated, and really unselfish to set this ball for Ripoll to just finish one touch. Good moment for Atlas here.
Last season with the U-23 squad. As Cardenas, again, with that little sporting moment, trying to hover over the ball. And our head official, Rogelio Alvarez, says that's enough. No need to do that. As we've got another foul. This time, Muller Jensen is down on the pitch. But again, you're really seeing that aggressive style from Atlas.
Yeah, and we always mention that there is a friendly until the whistle blows, right?
Probably the better term for these matches, an exhibition, because nothing ever seems friendly, even if it doesn't go down to the win-loss column. So Bautista will reset with the throw-in. Still searching for our first goal on both sides. Again, Atlas coming off their first win of this U.S. Tour on Wednesday night. A 1-0 win at the Flint City Bucks. But before that, really getting manhandled against Northern Indiana FC and Peoria City. And just what a response by Javi Moran's crew after getting punched on the chin a little bit. Some great resolve by these guys to turn the page and make the most of the final leg of this U.S. Tour. In traffic. Still a jostle for the ball between both sides as Sproat cannot win it. That cross is deflected away, and it results in our first corner kick of the night. So Gerardo Gomez will be the one to take this set piece. You've got Gomez and Cardenas. Cardenas standing on the complete opposite side of his usual position. Gomez to the net, and it's headed away by Hassan. Bicycle kick attempts going right to the midst of Herluf. So Fort Wayne's been able to hold off this high pressing style of Atlas so far. And Hugo Garcia is wide open. Feeding Muller Jensen. Delano switching it up now with Sproat. Daragon now to Evans. As we mentioned, Evans making his home debut with Fort Wayne FC a couple weeks ago against the Dayton Dutch Lions. And in that match, Evans scoring on a penalty kick in stoppage time in the second half. That wound up being the game-winning goal as Fort Wayne was going from leading 2-0 as we've got our first card of the night. That card presented to Jesus Guillen. And hard to argue against that call is Guillen. Clothesline Fawkes. So now Fort Wayne will try to build up numbers. Sproat out wide to Gondo. And Owen Wall is able to retain possession for a throw-in. Gondo Trying to shield off his man. A solid cross. Evans can't get a clean touch. But it does result in Fort Wayne's first corner. What a job by Venton Evans, a member of the Jamaican national team at one point in his career. And we are going to see, it appears, Delaney take this corner kick. Delaney sends it. Far post. And a chance that is denied! The celebration is held off as a foul is called inside the 18. Owen Wall thought he put Fort Wayne on the board.
Yeah, the ref's calling a foul there. I think a foul on Reed. Reed blocks to the player so Wugo could finish. A great moment for Fort Wayne. Like, we can see that Fort Wayne is definitely, like, on average taller and stronger. So all these corners or set pieces, opportunities that they have to cross on the box, it's an opportunity for Fort Wayne. It's an opportunity to take advantage of these difference in the physique.
And a yellow card is presented to Sprout on top of it. So good to see everybody back on their feet for Atlas. And appreciate the clarification there too, Luca. That was Hugo Garcia with the attempt.
I would like to see it again because on the play, like, we could see Reed and the defender from Atlas kind of like pushing each other, holding each other's shirts, but I didn't see any clear fall in the first, like in the play. Maybe I didn't see that and the ref caught it.
Here is Cardenas. Now out wide on the other side. A great job by Owen Wall regaining position and a better challenge by Gondo. Wall at 18 years old out of Chandler, Arizona. And some extracurricular activity. No fouls called, though, just a throw in. So already 20 minutes into this match. Just a reminder, if you're joining us, we will get hydration breaks midway between both halves. As Fort Wayne trying to get back on track, losing back-to-back matches, even though this one will not go down to the win-loss column, Mike Avery's crew needs some momentum heading back their way in the most important way. And dragged down from behind, Miguel Hernandez hits the deck after that tackle by Moller Jensen.
And we can feel the game kind of warming up, right? They started, we could see Venton hugging Hernandez, the goalkeeper. We could see the players kind of like playing in a friendly way, and after the first fall, it's been like escalating. So it's good for the ref to control things now.
There's Bautista. Get another tough tackle by Moller Jensen. Crossing pass, and nobody is there for Atlas. Delano able to shield his man. So as Fort Wayne tries to reset, let's throw it back down to Braden Carroll, who is more on Fort Wayne as they are trying to bounce back from rare back-to-back losses.
Yeah, Josh, you mentioned those back-to-back losses. Really just a shocking stretch for this squad. West Virginia's 2-0 win was just the third USL home loss for the boys in blue since June of 2022.
And nearly an attempt for Owen Wall, but it is offsides. We'll appreciate that, Braden. Yes, just a rare back-to-back stretch. First time that the club has lost back-to-back games since their inaugural season in 2021. And what was even more strange, just, Luca, I know you brought up a stat the last time we were together in the Lexington match, that Fort Wayne not only takes care of business at home, but they also score pretty well at home, too. Just that streak was snapped, too, when the 2-0 loss to West Virginia.
if I'm not wrong, was the first time since 2022 that Fort Wayne didn't score in a game here at home. It's pretty common for these fans to come here and see the team winning games, scoring at least. So it was a pretty different game for the fans that came here to watch.
Foul goes against Ripoll. As here comes Owen Wall, Sproat, and now Evans. Mike Avery always talks about with these international friendlies, especially last year against Chivas' U-23 squad. It's almost like a mirror image of what these guys for Fort Wayne want to do eventually. You've got these kids from Mexico working their way up the academy system, and in a lot of ways Fort Wayne is trying to get to a similar place where they want to play professionally. A lot of similar aged kids. As Herluf feeling the pressure now, Daragon threads the needle, but not before it finds the feet of Jesus Guillen. And what's great about these international friendlies too, Luca, it's always one of the most attended matches. I remember last year, so many faces from Chivas, and for them, this was their first taste of Fort Wayne FC soccer. And man, did Mike Avery's crew put on a show last year.
Yeah, it's good for the Fort Wayne FC players too. That, like, of course, a team like Atlas, like Chivas, like, they attract people to come here and watch. And sometimes a person that comes to watch Atlas, to watch Chivas, have the opportunity to get to know the club, have the opportunity to get to know our players. So it's a good opportunity for us to attract these people and kind of keep them by the way we play.
I've seen a couple of Atlas kits in the stands today. Saw plenty of Chivas kits last year too. Atlas, one of the best academy systems you will see all across Liga MX, producing so many crucial players who have gone on to play for Mexico's national team. Faces like Rafael Marquez. Marquez right now one of the assistant coaches on the senior national team. Jared Borghetti, Daniel Osorno, Jose de Jesus Corona y Pavel Pardo, just among many names who have developed through Atlas's academy. And a foul going against Fort Wayne, and a card presented. I believe that will go against Fawkes. Yes, the card will go against Fawkes. Second booking against Fort Wayne. Third card already in this match. So after a little bit of a frenetic start for both sides, some quality opportunities, pace is slowed down just a little bit. But here comes Cardenas. Out wide past the outstretched leg of Miguel Hernandez. And we will get our first hydration break of the evening. So, Luca, what have you liked about Fort Wayne so far? We talked about how this team needs to start getting momentum back their way through the final stretch of the season. And with mainly reserves in, they've really been able to settle into this match and that pressure from Atlas.
Yeah. What I liked so far is the seriousness that these players are putting on the field. Like, you can see that everybody's playing like it's a regular season game. Everybody's trying to take this opportunity. And I think I'm missing on Fort Wayne, it's kind of like this chemistry. it's tough for these players because, as you mentioned here, like a lot of them playing today for the first time. They play together on training, of course, but game chemistry is different. So I feel that like this pressure that Atlas is doing with Fort Wayne, following man-to-man, is creating a lot of trouble for Fort Wayne to build from the back. And this lack of chemistry that these players have, they are trying to do one thing and the teammates trying to do something else. So this is causing some problems for Fort Wayne.
Not unexpected, like you said. And we'll see if Fort Wayne can overcome that lack of chemistry. I love the set-piece opportunity that we saw 5-10 minutes ago. That was a great opportunity. If it wasn't for that tackle inside the 18 from Reed Sproat, Fort Wayne would be leading 1-0 right now.
Yeah, the two best chances Fort Wayne had to get closer to a goal was this one with Hugo scoring, but it was called a foul. And then a free kick that Virgil Delano crossed in, it put in a good spot, but Hernandez came off this line to save. So with the ball on the floor, Fort Wayne struggling to create so far, but I'm pretty sure that now after talking with the coaches, they are going to get better.
So we'll see how Fort Wayne can adjust throughout the course of this match, grow that chemistry. And again, if they can get it inside Atlas's attacking third, maybe find a way to set up a set piece on a corner or a free kick, that appears to be the crack in the armor for Atlas. So here is Christian Herluf, his fourth start in net this season, even though this one will go down as unofficial. Evans facing pressure from behind, and the foul is finally called against Eric Villegas. And Villegas getting a word from our head official, Rogelio Alvarez. That yellow card for a clear delay of game.
A silly yellow card to Villegas. No, he's a center back. He's booked now. He's in a delicate position because he has a yellow card. And just because he kicked the ball after the whistle, not very smart from him.
Here is Moller Jensen around the 18. Daragon giving chase, and a sliding tackle gets that ball out of bounds for a Fort Wayne FC throw-in. Looked like Bautista was the one to tackle it out of bounds, but if I was him, I would have just let that go out of bounds for a goal kick. Hassan finds space. Hugo Garcia now. Crossing pass. Owen Wall has a look at it, but he can't turn his hips in time. However, Atlas does get a tap on it, so we're going to see corner kick number 2 coming up for Fort Wayne. And like we mentioned, a set piece, a prime opportunity to take advantage right now. Delano had great placement last time. Let's see if he can do it again. Delano, far post, and another foul is called. That's just deflating for Fort Wayne.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with the call again, but as you mentioned, it's a good opportunity for Fort Wayne. The players got to be extra careful to not fall, because we can see on the field that Atlas is not comfortable with these set pieces, with the corners. So Fort Wayne FC got to be extra careful to not fall and take advantage of these moments.
Gondo picks off that pass. And the offsides flag is up as that ball slingshotted all across the pitch. You had Venton Evans and Owen Wall in position. However, they were in an offsides position. Tough challenge in the midfield, no foul. And here comes Amari Fawkes. Fawkes turns, denied by Luis Hernandez. What a job by Hernandez. Hitting the deck and vacuuming that ball. The best chance yet for Fort Wayne in this half.
A great moment for Fort Wayne FC here. Amari Falks being very, very smart to step on the right moment, press, get the ball. And I think he had the right decision. He cut the defender, cleared everything, but the shot with the left foot was not the best.
So here comes Cardenas, and Atlas trying to counter. Alvaro Beas. Out on the wing, Miguel Hernandez. Trying to turn. Not out of trouble yet. And now Guillen switches it up. Here is Suarez. In the center of the pitch, that ball's denied by Garcia. And now Fort Wayne looks to counter with Evans. Evans strong through the double team. And that ball is out of bounds. Last touch by Evans. A great job by Fort Wayne back in transition. Atlas can't get a clean look. And a little confusion on that throw-in, as that was taken actually on the American football side. The gray lines are the ones where you need to take the throw-in. Gomez switching it up now with Suarez. Atlas hasn't really attacked that left flank throughout the course of this match. Good pressure now by Falks. Good pass inside, but a better job by Reed Sproat to sniff it out. Suarez resets. And a smart tackle that time by Delaney to at least stop the transition. Suarez now will reset with a free kick. Evans applying pressure against Villegas, has that yellow card already. And Beas' pass is picked off by Owen Wall. I love what I'm seeing from the 18-year-old. Has yet to play a game in college soccer, but you can already see the high soccer IQ. And Villegas shoves down Evans. He's got to be careful with that yellow.
Yeah, we mentioned here that the first yellow was silly, and now he's playing the entire game under this situation. It's not easy for a defender to be playing with a yellow card, to be playing without being able to make a fall, to do something.
And a little extracurricular activity, too. Gerardo Gomez taking offense to something. Little conversation with Delaney, still going around the center pitch. Meanwhile, Reed Sproat wants his 10 yards. Again, a lot of sporting from Atlas's side. Sproat still will not restart play. He is adamant he wants his 10 yards. Instead, now a deep pass going right to the midst of Luis Hernandez. Just feels like that chippiness is part of the mind games that Atlas will play throughout the course of a match. Here is Moller Jensen. Back to Falks. As the lone shot on goal for Fort Wayne. And now Fort Wayne will try to switch things up with Sproat. 37th minute, still scoreless. And that pass is intercepted as Atlas now looks to counter back. Suarez now with Gomez. Medina. And now here is Bautista working his way up that right flank. Fawkes pokes away that pass. And look at this, Hernandez really out of his post. Cardenas switches it up now. Suarez out on the wing, feeding Cardenas.
Something that I think Atlas is missing on this game is a little bit more of movements and maybe creativity in the final third. They're doing an incredible job to play under pressure, to break Fort Wayne FC pressure until this moment, until they get the ball here on the 40-yard line, on the 30-yard line. But when they get here, they have trouble, they turn over, they're not being effective with the ball to find opportunities to shot on goal, to create chances to score.
Is that why you're seeing a lot of that east-west passing, just trying to break down Fort Wayne's defensive shape?
Yeah, no, they've been great until this point. Like, they're switching side to side, they're being patient. When Fort Wayne steps and put them in tight space, they're good under pressure. But I'm missing more from them in the final third.
Here comes Fort Wayne, no offsides. I stand corrected. That's the drawback with playing that high press. You've got the three fullbacks just so far up the midfield, and it's hard to gauge for guys like Evans and Muller-Jensen. So Fort Wayne, again, with a lot of reserves playing in this match, you could feel the confidence growing from Mike Avery's side. But we still remain scoreless as we enter the waning moments of the first half. Throw-in awarded to Fort Wayne. We've yet to see any substitutions for both sides. Now keep in mind, we do get unlimited numbers of those since this is a friendly. Here comes Miguel Hernandez. Was waiting for somebody in the center pitch, but nobody was there to receive the cross. That's been where Atlas has been at their best today, just using their press, trying to create scoring opportunities. But like you said, just not a lot of creativity in that final third. It'd be a chance for Fort Wayne to answer back. Here is Hassan, again sliding over from his typical wing spot, playing one of the two center back spots with Sproat. Now here is Evans. Can't cross that pass in, and a hard challenge that goes against Aragon. That is Miguel Hernandez down on the pitch right now. And we'll see if Hernandez is able to get back on his feet. Would not be surprised if Alvarez presents a yellow card. And good to see Hernandez back on his feet. So we're not going to get a booking. No yellow card presented against Aragon. And now Atlas We'll just reset play as we are in the 42nd minute. Javi Moran going with 10 available substitutions today, and that includes the backup goalkeeper, Oscar Hidalgo. Back the other way. Here comes Fort Wayne. Evans reads it beautifully. Hernandez well beyond his post, and he has to send it to the bleachers.
Good run by Venton Evans. Maybe he needed this pass half a second before. I think he did to kind of hold the ball a little too long and then gave the opportunity to the goalkeeper to get off his line.
So Gondo now resets with a throw-in. Fort Wayne trying to capture some momentum before halftime. They've been knocking on the door in the latter parts of this half. And a deep ball going to Gondo. Backing it up. Wall can't get a clean touch. He was at the right place at the right time as the foul gets called against Gondo.
Well played by Hidalgo. Good run. Great pass by Virgil, finding him in a nice spot. He set it back perfectly for Owen, but Owen kind of missed his step, and the ball was behind him.
Yeah, if Wall was just a little more under control, maybe he could have gotten a boot on it. So Fort Wayne trying to build from the back again. They've been under siege in this first half by Atlas. Now Sproat sheds his man Ripoll. Great give and go. Here is Fawkes. Muller Jensen was asking for the ball. He's trying to time that run in tandem with Fawkes, but Fawkes didn't see him. And here is Muller Jensen now. Drop of the bucket. Darragon, well out of his spot, trying to dribble through. Wall lets it rip. Oh, but it's wide of the post. Owen Wall nearly puts Fort Wayne on the board.
Fort Wayne FC finishing the first half really in a good spot. Knocking on the door, trying to find this goal in the first half, and Owen had another great opportunity here. The ball bounced on him inside of the box, and he was really smart to toe poke the ball and almost scored.
Again, we're seeing the high soccer IQ from the 18-year-old, but he has yet to play a minute at the collegiate level. Now Miguel Hernandez. And a great read this time by Delanel. Tough challenge. Gomez hits the deck as the foul goes against Muller Jensen. And we'll get 1 minute of added time, even with the hydration break. So maybe one last chance for Atlas to build something up before halftime. Very even match between two sides. Evans wins it back for Fort Wayne. Oh, Villegas. Not the best first touch, but Wall unable to chase that down in time. Here comes Bautista now. One last chance for Atlas before halftime. Suarez. Now on the wing. And that will do it for your first half. Very even match. Both sides are making sure that this is not a friendly. High stakes match for both sides. Atlas wrapping up their entire U.S. tour tonight, while Fort Wayne FC trying to get back in the win column after rare back-to-back losses. Luca, what'd you like from both sides in the first half?
I liked Atlas' capacity of play out of pressure, the capacity that they have to bring players to one side of the field, combine, switch it. They are really good with the ball, with the possession. I think they're lacking creativity in the final third to find ways to hurt Fort Wayne FC. On the other side, I liked Fort Wayne FC capacity on the final third. Even though everything was not super clear on the build-up, even though they were facing a good press from Atlas, Fort Wayne, when they made it to the final third, they were dangerous. They could find a good opportunity with Amari, they could find a good opportunity with Owen, and even score a goal that was disallowed by a foul.
So almost polar opposites of what we've seen, or at least... I'm trying to think of a better way to put it. Almost like these two, not like mirror images, but they've found ways to attack each other's weaknesses throughout the course of this first half. And, you know, just knowing this is a friendly, we'll see how many substitutions come in for both sides. I'm sure for Atlas, knowing the number of matches they've played, Javi Moran will have a high number of substitutions throughout the course of this second half. But we will see that all unfold as we're going to throw it down to the field for some halftime entertainment with Braden Carroll.
Fans, it's time to introduce our Team Greenlaw Team of the Match in Hurricanes SC Felix U-12. We have one of the members of this team right next to me. What's your name?
My name is Keaton Erie.
Tell us a little bit about your team.
So, first of all, this season was pretty great. I mean, we won a trophy this season. That's pretty good.
How about that? A trophy season for Hurricanes. Give a round of applause for Team Greenlaw Team of the Match.
For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. Given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Greenlaw the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Greenlaw, for you, with you.
There was an empty lot sitting by my gas station. I always wondered what I can do with that lot. Back in 2012, built that laundry. I was always looking for some local bank where they could make decisions right on the spot. It's very convenient, and a lot of the employees at Profed know me personally. So I asked them for a loan, and they actually came to our facility to give us a loan for the real estate as well as for the equipment. Before I came to United States from India, I had a business for 10 years in India. So I have always been entrepreneurial. Until last year, we had 8 gas stations. We had 40 single-family houses. We have about 5,000 apartments all over the nation. Profed has always offered me whatever I wanted to get to that level. Profed is a good partner to be with.
Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Behind every flawless performance,
or game-changing meeting,
or important broadcast,
and even a powerful Sunday morning worship service,
there are people just like us.
well, us actually,
Our mission is to partner with you
to design the best audio, visual, and technology experience that meets your needs.
and then step back behind the curtain to make sure it always runs without a glitch.
we are Force Tech.
Fans, fans, it's time for our Crazy Pins musical chairs event. Now it's going to be interesting, a little bit different than what we're used to with our Crazy Pins games. We're going to go around a half circle here, and then once the music stops, all of our contestants will run to try and get a ball and dribble it through the half circle before the balls run out. We'll cut it in half from there. We'll have a winner by the end. Let's introduce our contestants. I feel like it's only fair to start with the pickle. Mallory the pickle.
I am London. I'm Samuel.
It's your birthday today, Sam. How old are you turn?
9.
Awesome, big round of applause for our birthday boy, Samuel. Here's our contestants. Are you going to talk to me, though?
Hi, Gru!
Interesting. Let's get it started off. Cue the music. Come on, don't hold the line back. Let's get going. Half circle, half circle. Go down the midline. All right, whoever doesn't have a ball, come out of the circle. You've been and now it's balls in half. Round two. We're down to our last ball for the last round. Cue the music. Let's get it going. Will it be the pickle for the win? And we have our winner. Big round of applause for all of our contestants from the St. Joe's Soccer departments. The Big Dells. You know what, while we're at it, who wants some t-shirts? For over 5 years.
There was an empty lot sitting by my gas station. I always wondered what I can do with that lot. Back in 2012, built that laundry. I was always looking for some local bank where they could make decisions right on the spot. It's very convenient, and a lot of the employees at ProFed know me personally. So I asked them for a loan, and they actually came to our facility to give us a loan for the real estate as well as for the equipment. Before I came to United States from India, I had a business for 10 years in India. So I have always been entrepreneurial. Until last year, we had 8 gas stations. We had 40 single-family houses. We have about 5,000 apartments all over the nation. ProFed has always offered me whatever I wanted. to get to that level, Profit is a good partner to be with.
Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
As a part of the Hoosier Lottery and Fort Wayne FC commitment to the community, we are honoring 3 heroes all season long through the Hoosier Lottery Hero of the Game Award. For 35 years, the Hoosier Lottery has given back more than $7 billion to good causes throughout the state, and we know the stronger and the award honors individuals who made a difference and had an overwhelming impact on the lives of others. Tonight's recipient is Pepe Sotamba, who is director of the Liga Equilatinos Mixed Youth Soccer League. Pepe is not only the director, but is also a coach of the league. Fans, please join us in recognizing tonight's recipient of the Hoosier Lottery Hero of the Match. Fans, we are up here in section G and row M with our winning seat of the game. Tell us your name. Come on, Antonio Cruz. Congratulations, you are our winning seat of the game. In fact, your entire section of the row here will win a little award from Hoosier Lottery for our winning seat of the match.
Alright, I'll move. Stay up in the suite.
Fans, direct your attention to the video board for the Peter Franklin Kiss Game.
I'm not seeing anybody else.
Second half about to begin here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. No score between Los Rojinegros de Atlas FC Sub-23 Atlas FC U-23 and Fort Wayne FC, your international friendly. Once again, alongside Luca Malta, Braden Carroll, and the rest of our fantastic broadcast crew, I am Josh Ayen. And not a lot of scoring, no scoring as a matter of fact, but a very exciting first half, Luca.
Yeah, it was a good first half. We could see both teams trying to implement their strategy on the game here in the first half, but at the end of the day, they got to score. The fans are here to see them scoring, and both sides are here to win. Of course, it's a preparation game for both sides, but I'm pretty sure both of them want to win.
Now, when you take a look at Fort Wayne, I know they were playing a lot of reserves, but you would want to see them find ways to attack. They've been very dangerous in a lot of set-piece opportunities, something that Atlas is clearly not comfortable with in the first half.
Yeah, it's something that Fort Wayne is really strong. Like, it's the set pieces, it's the corners, it's the free kicks. Fort Wayne already scored during the season from corners, from free kicks. So it's something that Fort Wayne can definitely explore here in this game, especially because, as you mentioned, we can see Atlas not very comfortable with these plays.
So Fort Wayne is going to go with some substitutions in the second half. Caio Oliveira, Mamadou Diarra, and Ruud Schneider-Bolbrun are all checking into the match. And Caio, as we mentioned at the top of our broadcast, already with 6 goals this season. That is currently tied for third all-time in club history for goals scored. And not to mention, one more goal by Caio in regular season play would break the single season record for Fort Wayne FC. Meanwhile, it looks like Atlas will make a substitution themselves. You've got Guadalupe Lara. Yes, Lara will be the one to check in. And Diego Trejo will come in as well, 253. As well as Dylan Zamora. So 3 substitutions apiece. We'll see who they subbed out in a matter of moments, but it appears that Venton Evans is one of the guys subbed out for Fort Wayne FC. That was one thing that Mike Avery wanted to see from Evans, who suffered an injury in the Dayton Dutch Lions win. Just wanted to see that fitness level, how he can hold up, and putting him out there for a half is a part of that rehab process.
Yeah, for Fort Wayne, we can see that Venton left the pitch.
Looks like Hugo
left the pitch, and Oliver left.
And I'm sure for guys like Diarra and Schneider-Bolbrun, they would love to get their momentum back too, as Diarra sends it over the head of a bunch of defenders. Fawkes is there to back him up on the other side. Oliveira getting his first taste of action against international competition, as that is out of bounds for a Fort Wayne throw-in. So now Sprott will reset things. And now Al-Sadiq Hassan. That ball batted away by the back line of Atlas. And now working their way up the midfield. Alvaro Beas has to swing it out wide to Cardenas. Bautista outside. Alonso Ripoll, but Ripoll is called offsides. So we'll try and make out who was subbed off.
Atlas?
For Atlas.
I'm pretty sure it was 251. Luis Suarez left for 249. Zamora to come in as a left winger here. In the middle, number 244, Cardenas left the pitch, and 234, Gomez left the pitch.
So there you have it. Again with Javi Moran applying that high pressing style. Trying to get some fresh legs in there and reapply the pressure to Fort Wayne that was working so well in the early minutes of the first half. Oliveira loses control. And there's one of those substitutions, Zamora. Oliveira wins it back for Fort Wayne. Waiting for help. Owen Wall gets some separation. Wall against Villegas. And Wall is shoved down to the pitch. Excellent defense that time by the very talented center back Villegas.
Very good job by Villegas. Cut the space, forced Owen to go wide, and when Owen went wide, he hit it up on the line. Like very, very good job by the defender.
So Atlas deep in their own half. Alvaro Beas loses it back. And Oliveira trying to apply the pressure, and the favors returned. Gondo with a throw-in for Fort Wayne. Both sides still searching for the back of the net. Here is Gondo. And now Fort Wayne has to build it back. Oliveira in traffic. Jesus Guillen against Fawkes. As the ball ping-pongs around just outside the 18. Diarra trying to get a touch. And it's swept out of bounds. So Fort Wayne trying to build up the momentum that we saw at the end of the first half. Now Ubar Daragon. Again, getting some extended run after not really playing much this season. And that results in a goal kick. Actually, no. Take it back. First corner kick. So Delaney, he has been the man on all these set pieces. And again, a prime spot for Fort Wayne as Atlas has struggled on these set pieces. Fort Wayne's got to be careful, though. Delaney, deep, arcing ball. Spro tries to head it in, but what a snatch by Luis Hernandez. Again, pinpoint placement, but Hernandez denies Fort Wayne a goal.
Once again, we can see Fort Wayne FC taking advantage of corner kicks, but not being able to score. We can see that, like, if the team keep forcing on these plays, there's something good coming for Fort Wayne on these.
Lara out of control as he sails that ball out of bounds. And if Fort Wayne is going to crack the scoreboard, it feels like it's got to come from a set piece in this match. Diarra first to the ball. Now weaving through Oliveira. Through the outstretched arms. And he draws the foul. A savvy move by the talented midfielder out of Colorado State Pueblo.
Very smart by Oliveira. He could feel the press. The Atlas player was getting closer and closer, being physical, pushing, and he was smart enough, Oliveira, to drag the fall in a good spot for Fort Wayne.
So again, another set piece coming up. This time it's Delaney and Oliveira. From 25 yards out, trying to put Fort Wayne on the board in an international friendly. Oliveira lets it rip, and it goes right to Hernandez. Hernandez has had a very busy start to the second half, but he has been more than up to the task tonight. Pitched a shutout on Wednesday night in a 1-0 win against the Flint City Bucks. Guillen gets tangled up. Now Oliveira wins it back. Here comes Ruud Schneider-Bolbrun on the left wing, but a great job as that ball sails to the trees. And actually, that ball's going to be ruled a throw-in in favor of Atlas. So actually Cardenas is still on the pitch on that far side, playing that right attacking wing. Bautista remains in the match as well, as that ball skies around the touchline before finally trickling out of bounds for another Atlas throw-in. Seen a few members of La Fiel, the fan base of Atlas, in the stands today. Again, one of the best attended matches you will see all summer long here at Darcy Stadium. And a great way for Fort Wayne to really put their skills on display against international competition. Maybe now Ripoll, feeding it back through traffic and wide open as that ball sails over everybody. Cardenas with a clear attempt, but he's going to want that one back.
Yeah, great job by Lara that came here in the midfield, stole the ball, made the 1-2 with Ripoll and served it to Cardenas in front of the goal, and he got to do a better job than that. Great play by Lara, but not finished in the same way by Cardenas.
Atlas has scored 1 goal in their last 3 friendlies during this U.S. tour. As DR is dragged from behind, no advantage. Giving chase now, Owen Wall! And Hernandez is able to stop it. However, he gets an assist from the assistant refs as the offsides flag is up again. Well, the far side ARs have had a very busy afternoon. Ryan Birdsall on that far side. Dana Hackney, she might be a little bit busier in this second half compared to what we saw in the first half. Trying to counter back, here is Guillen. And now Dylan Zamora. Solid tackle that time by Delano. Oh, and it appears Diego Trejo gets tangled up on a little stinger that draws the foul. So Trejo will reset with a free kick. Again, still searching for our first goal of this match. Atlas has scored 1 goal apiece in the last 3 friendlies. Again, just a reminder coming in, they lost 6-1 against Peoria City, then 4-1 against Northern Indiana out of South Bend, before finally getting in the win column last Wednesday against the Flint City Bucks. Javi Moran and company would love nothing more than to wrap up this U.S. tour with a victory, as this group is really tested in what's normally the off-season for them. Out on the wing here is Cardenas. Working one-on-one against Daragon. And that shot, again, clearing everybody from outside the 18. as Zamora was trying to force the issue. So Christian Herluf, we saw some of the struggles as a defensive unit in the loss to Kings Hammer Columbus on Wednesday. They fell behind 2-0 before trying to rally in what turned out to be a 2-1 loss. But what have you liked about the defense so far? They've really held their own against this Atlas attack.
Yeah, they've been super solid today. You can go, Josh.
We'll continue that thought in a moment, but first, here comes Fawkes. And now Gondo. Solid pass to Diarra. Can he turn in time? Diarra feeding it to Wall, but the offsides flag is up again. So to go back to your point, Luca, what were you saying about Fort Wayne's defense?
Yeah, the defense, it's been one of the best points on the team today. They've been pretty solid. We mentioned here that Atlas is doing a good job until they face our back line or our defensive system. So they've been pretty solid. Christian was not tested so far today. Atlas had a couple chances to shoot, but all of their shots were away. So good defensive job by Fort Wayne FC so far today.
This has got to be a big confidence booster for Herluf, too. He is 2-1 on the season, but he has conceded 5 goals in those 3 matches. And kind of like we were talking about pregame, Luca, whenever goals are surrendered, it's never just the goalkeeper's fault. Although I'm sure for somebody like Christian, he will take a lot of the blame after a performance, especially from Wednesday night. And something like what we're seeing right now, this has got to be a big confidence booster from him after what's been a rare rough patch for Fort Wayne this season. Two-thirds of the way through this match, minute number 60, and still scoreless. The 5th international friendly for Fort Wayne FC in this club's short existence. Got their first win in an international friendly last year against Chivas' U-23 squad, as Ruth Schneider-Bobrun can't keep control. Now Oliveira working in tandem with Bobrun, however, Atlas able to regain it, and Cardenas is shut from behind. Daragon is the guilty party. The sun beginning to set behind us at Darcy Stadium. A gorgeous summer evening here. And a packed house at Darcy Stadium. So we talked about with Javi Moran leading up to this match. And a great pass up ahead. Lara trying to win it back. However, Hassan with a great job to wall off the attack. Coming the other way, here is Diarra against Villegas. And Villegas wins that one-on-one battle before he loses it out of bounds. Rather, excuse me, that is Lisandro Ventura. So Fort Wayne trying to send up numbers now with Delaney. Through ball is intercepted. And here comes Atlas trying to counter. Out on the wing, here is Zamora zipping through the defense, trying to create space, but Fawkes sweeps it out of bounds. And we're starting to see the game open up a little bit more in the second half. Zamora will take the throw in for Atlas. And that ball is out of bounds. Last touch by Beas. Again, we're seeing a lack of creativity from Atlas in that attacking third.
Yeah, we could see like a couple minutes ago, like Cardenas having the ball in the final third inside the box, and he pretended that he was going to dribble and he passed back. Right now we could see Zamora 1v1 against Reed, go for the dribble, try something different, and he cuts back, and then lose the ball. I think they're missing this creativity, and like, I don't think they're daring to dribble to try something different, and that's exactly what they need.
So here is an interesting wrinkle. You see Virgil Delaney heading to the bench. Tavio Dalmida will now come in as that holding mid spot. And Delaney has been stellar with the set pieces this evening. We'll see how Fort Wayne adjusts the next time they get an opportunity like that. But still a solid day overall for Delaney. First off, our head official, Rogelio Alvarez, has a word with both sides around center pitch. Now Dalmida getting his first look. A lot of space to work with for Oliveira. And helping him out, that is Ruud Schneider-Bobrun. We'll see how Fort Wayne can build up their attack. They have been the more dangerous team when they've gotten possession in the attacking third tonight, but still no goals to show for it. A 3-1 advantage in shots on goal tonight. That ball deflected by Atlas. And you got to think, too, for Atlas, knowing this is the final leg of a daunting U.S. tour, 4 matches in 8 days. How much fatigue, both mentally and physically, is it going to wear on them over the course of the second half? Gondo sweeps it out of bounds. Or rather back to the midfield. Now Villegas. Over at mid-pitch with Guillen. Zamora now working against Gondo. And Zamora with some space. And a tough challenge. Great job by Oliveira to win it back and draw a foul on top of it. Now on the wing, here comes Fort Wayne, rather Atlas again, Cardenas. Can't get a clean look. And now Guillen working against Owen Wall. Trejo. Back to Cardenas. He remains on sides. Cardenas chips it ahead. What a flick! Oh, and an even better save! Christian Herloof with his best save at a Fort Wayne FC kit.
Wow, what a save by Christian. We were mentioning here that he was not tested so far on this game. And when Alvaro Beas tested him with this header, he was ready for that. What a save.
First corner kick of the second half coming up for Atlas. We'll see what the Rojinegros draw up here. Trying to break a scoreless drought. Deep ball to the far side. Herloof gets a paw on it again. And Fort Wayne trying to counter with Bobrun. Bobrun using his speed, sending it to the other side. Now some separation. And Bobrun gives it up to Wall. He can't regain control though. And that will lead us to our second and final hydration break. But not before we get a whole host of substitutions coming in for Atlas. We'll get those names cleared up in a moment. But first, let's toss it down to Braden Carroll, who has more on Atlas.
Well, Josh, you mentioned just a moment ago how busy Atlas's U-23 squad has been in the state already in just the last week, with 6-1 loss to Peoria City on Monday, but a 1-0 win over Flint City on Wednesday. A team that's a perennial playoff contender. This coach, Javier Moran, told us about the importance of these experiences for his Atlas players to understand USL2 and USL ball. They get another taste of USL ball today, and the way that they're playing right now, they're looking to go out with one more win before they take the flight back home.
Thank you for that, Braden, and apologies for the audio difficulties right there. So as we sort out the new faces, it's basically like a hockey shift coming in for Atlas. So we've got Milton Esponda, Eduardo Morales, Kevin Silva, Jose Gaitan, and Jesus Aguirre all checking in. So among those checking out, you have got Cardenas, as well as Guillen, it appears. At this rate, it's probably just better to reset the entire 11.
Ripo's coming out.
Yes, so Ripoll is one of those coming out, so his day is done.
Batista is coming out.
At this point, I don't see any of the remaining starting 11. It's basically like a brand new team out on the pitch right now for Atlas. Meanwhile, you've got Muslim Uma checking in for Fort Wayne FC. And he will come in for Owen Wall, and what a fantastic afternoon for Wall. Despite the fact that Wall was held off the scoreboard, you could really see the high soccer IQ from this young man. So again, as we reset now, let's take a look at the new 11 for Atlas. We've got Guadalupe Lara on that right wing. Jose Gaitan he appears to be that striker now. As this ball's going to go all the way to Lara. Lara now getting some help. Gaitan, that is through his feet. So a brand new lineup for Javi Moran's crew. Eduardo Morales is able to regain it after the challenge from Uma. So even despite this brand new lineup for Atlas, again, these guys have been playing with each other all throughout their lives. The chemistry is already built in throughout this match. So it's going to be seamless with a brand new 11 out there, rather 10 out there, as Hernandez is still in the match at goalie. Sproat loses his footing. Excellent move by Esponda. Here comes Atlas. And a high arcing ball to center field. But a foul is called that goes against Atlas. Gondo is down on the pitch as he is hit from behind. When the trainers have to come out, yeah, that looked like head-to-head contact.
Yeah, these balls are always tough for the defender because they're stuck while the attackers are running towards the ball. So the ball comes from the line, they're crossing back. The defenders are kind of stuck to jump. They have to jump from zero, and the attackers are coming at 100 miles per hour, attacking the ball. So Gondo was in the wrong side of this challenge here.
So Gondo getting back on his feet. That's always a great sign, and hopefully nothing serious after taking that hit to the head. Would not be surprised to see a new right back, just knowing this is a friendly. Well, it appears Gondo's going to remain in. Again, he split a lot of reps with folks like Hassan, Anthony Hernandez, and Gondo has been very solid at either of those wing spots on the back line. Guyton trying to apply pressure now. Again, a scoreless draw. Saw a lot of quality chances for both sides. Not so much the case in half number 2. However, we did see a Herculean effort from Christian Herluf. This one has all the makings of what could turn out to be a 1-0 match. Some fancy footwork from Atlas's side. Now here is Oliveira, trying to spin and win himself. And now Fort Wayne will try to build from the back once again. I can say refreshed and recharged, new 10 on the pitch for Atlas. Here's Sproat now. Back to Hassan, and Fort Wayne just being very patient now with how they're trying to build this up. Delmeda. Nice give and go. Out on the wing. Here's Bobrun. On the attack now, Fort Wayne. And Bobrun is tackled outside the 18. He does draw a kick. It is right on the edge of that gray line. So Oliveira will be the one to take it. You've got Diego Trejo, who is having a little word with center official Alvarez. Not to mention you've got Lara, and again, not the first time that we've seen Atlas trying to stall set-piece opportunities by hovering over the ball. Oliveira already with 6 goals this season. Last one in a penalty kick against Kings Hammer Columbus. Oliveira, straight line, and that one is denied. Hernandez puts his superhero cape on. A fantastic effort, and Fort Wayne will reset. Here's another corner kick. Daragon, that's headed away. Still not out of trouble yet. And Sproat is tackled from behind. That will be a throw-in, but we will get a substitution, and this is a very interesting story here, Luca, because for the first time in a Fort Wayne FC kit, we have got soon-to-be sophomore Johnny I coming into the match.
Yeah, youngest person ever to wear these shirts in a game, even though it's a friendly. But it's a nice moment to be here, to see that super nice guy, super good, very good player, and it's good to see Fort Wayne FC putting a young talent on the pitch.
I is just 15 years old, playing against grown men, basically. I mentioned this before the broadcast. If you didn't know his age, you almost might think he might be a middle schooler. But I has been phenomenal. His talent level is off the charts, playing club at Fort Wayne United, as we've got a foul against Fort Wayne FC. He actually spent 2 seasons with the Indy 11 club, and even had a little bit of interest internationally in the Netherlands. So the sky is the limit for this young man, and we have seen a lot of prime soccer talent come out of Fort Wayne the last couple of years. For example, David Anderson, Reed Sproats, growing up in Auburn and going to Leo High School in Allen County. Namik Mehic, who is still on the mend right now, but he'll be playing at Bowling Green. Even a guy in MLS right now with Akil Watts. And now it appears that Johnny I could be that next rising Summit City soccer star. Waning minutes now, the second half. And maybe a chance for Atlas to build something up here. Out on the wing, inside the 18. That ball is denied. Excellent job by Daragon to hold off the danger for the moment. That ball is out of bounds. A poor first touch by Jesus Aguirre. And actually, they're going to call a foul instead. I thought the ball was out of bounds. So we mentioned Atlas has scored once every single friendly. In the previous 4 international friendlies for Fort Wayne FC, they have scored at least 1 goal. The most they've scored in these contests was 4 goals last year in a 4-1 win against Chivas' U-23 squad. They have never been held scoreless. Diarra's trying to make sure that trend doesn't change as Diarra is dragged down. However, the center official says Diarra dragged his defender down first. Bit of a 50-50 call. But Atlas comes out unscathed. Now Dalmida regains it. On the give and go, Dalmida still giving chase. Diarra can't get a good look. Hernandez there for the save again. Luis Hernandez, just a ball magnet. And now Atlas is trying to counter. But the offsides flag is up for Lara.
Well, Luis Hernandez becoming the name of the match. Every time Fort Wayne was close to score, he was there to save Atlas, and this was one more time. Mamadou Diarra in front of him, go for the shot, and Hernandez saving Atlas one more time.
Diarra thought he had a great look. But my goodness, Luis Hernandez, he has been sensational tonight. We asked Javi Moran about both goalkeepers, and he was quick to credit both of them. Very different in terms of the skill sets, but they are more than capable, and would not be a surprise to see either of them continue to climb the ranks and eventually wind up with the senior Atlas team in the very near future. And especially with a position like goalkeeper, it just comes down to a numbers game. Foul goes against Atlas. Already in the 82nd minute, a gorgeous late June evening in the annual international friendly for Fort Wayne FC. Fort Wayne has tied previously in an international friendly. That was 3 years ago in a 1-1 draw against Tigres. Diarra was denied minutes ago. He gets denied again. And what a job by Trejo to eventually win that one-on-one. Switching it up now. Esponda can't get a good touch. And a throw-in now for Gondo. Yard drag from behind. His defender trying to pull the rug out from under him. That being Morales. And you see Mike Avery a little frustrated too off camera, asking for any sort of call. So that was right in front of the center official. Back the other way, Atlas trying to build up again. Deep ball that is past the mouth of the goal. And that goes out of bounds for what should be a throw-in. Yeah, you see the frustration from Avery. Arms crossed. Morales. No whistle again. Here's the thing too, Luca. A lot of yellow cards in the first half, none in the second half.
Yeah, I feel that the ref is letting the game flow a little bit more in the second half. He was trying to control a little bit more in the first. A lot of yellows, 4 yellows in the first half, none of them in the second. But sometimes you got to just blow the whistle. A foul is a foul.
Inside the 18 now, Atlas with a great chance. That was Esponda on the cross attempt. As you see Milton Esponda retreating back. The fans at Darcy Stadium begging for any sort of score. And a foul now against Fort Wayne FC again. So we've got Trejo and Laura setting up for this set piece. And a prime opportunity now for Atlas to maybe steal this one on the road. 85th minute. Trejo, Lara from just over 30 yards out. But first, it looks like a member of Atlas wants to talk to the training crew. That appears to be Morales, who, yeah, looks like he's got a bloody nose right now. Let's get the conventional nose plug. And he's back at it. Only building up the anticipation for a key set piece for both sides. So Trejo at the ready. Trejo, high arcing ball, headed, and that skies over everybody, but the offsides flag is up. We have seen that from the assistant refs way too many times tonight. So Fort Wayne is running out of chances on their own. Keep in mind, Fort Wayne has not generated a goal in free play since the 2-1 win over Lexington. 2 of their last 3 goals coming on a penalty kick. Oh, what a cross. Even better stab by Sproat. The pressure just unrelenting now from Atlas as they're trying to break this scoreless drought, wrap up their U.S. tour with one last win. Had a 1-0 win Wednesday night at the Flint City Bucks. But Fort Wayne has other intentions in mind. Dalmida keeps it in bounds. And that ball sails out of the touchline. With a lot of time, here is Hassan. And what a job. Trejo sniffs that pass out. Trying to counter the other way. Guyton building up some numbers. And Sproat denies that attempt. Darragon steals it right back. Fort Wayne trying to press with numbers, a 3-on-3. Beaubrun. Now to Olivero with some space. Diarra, rather Uma, feeds it back, a strike, and a goal! Rode, Schneider, Beaubrun breaks the drought! And in the 88th minute, the 27-year-old gives Fort Wayne a 1-0 lead.
Wow, great goal by Fort Wayne FC, great counter-attack. We could see Hubert starting everything here on the defense. Reed blocked, find Hubert, Hubert find Ruud, and Ruud did all the job to carry this ball to the other side of the pitch. Combined with Caio, great ball by Caio, through the legs, finding Muslin Umar. And Muslin is very smart here, use his body and cross, find Ruud in a prime spot. And he's not going to miss from there.
And credit the assist to Uma. What a job, too. You mentioned the high IQ from Uma, just setting up his man. We've not really seen a ton of Uma, the standout out of Alberta. But he has shown plenty of potential in his limited opportunities this season. And for more, let's throw it back down to Braden Carroll, who is a little bit more about Ruud Schneider Beaubrun.
Well, guys, this is just about what we expected from Fort Wayne. Beaubrun coming up big there. And, Fort Wayne FC, this is the 4th time that they have taken a lead-taking goal in the 83rd minute or higher. Coach Avery said it simply to us a couple weeks ago. His team, they just stay in it. It's a part of the way that they play. Sometimes it takes time to wear teams down, and here we are late with Fort Wayne up 1-0. They've done it 3 times now at home against Sueño FC and against the Dayton Dutch Lions. This is a team that comes up big in the clutch. Ruud Schneider Beaubrun, a big part of it.
And that's a big thing, too, as we want to thank Braden for that comment. Just how clutch Fort Wayne has been in late match situations. You mentioned the 3 home matches, Sueño, the Dayton Dutch Lions, but even on the road too, Thiago Diaz with a goal in the 83rd minute.
Yes.
That was the only tally in what turned out to be a 1-0 win at Kings Hammer Cincy, and that was a huge result for Fort Wayne to keep their hold of the Valley Division. Uma past everybody! Uma, can he get a touch? No! What a job defensively by Atlas! Hernandez retreating back. Fort Wayne trying to seal the win at home right now as we have 3 minutes of added time.
Wow, I think it was Dylan Zamora with the block after Muslin, passed by the goalkeeper, passed by Hernandez, and Zamora coming in the last second to save Atlas.
A fantastic stop with Hernandez well out of position. At this point, Atlas, as they get rewarded with a free kick, trying to salvage a draw. Fort Wayne trying to get back to what they have been used to on this home pitch, winning. It's not going to go down in the official win-loss column, but after losing back-to-back games, this team is desperate for any sign of success as they are hitting the home stretch of a brief season. So throwing awarded to Fort Wayne as we're already halfway through stoppage time. At this point, Fort Wayne just trying to thwart off the danger. Keep the ball in the attacking half and come away with another win on home pitch in front of a frenetic crowd. Uma through traffic. Gets tangled up and draws the foul. 93rd minute. And perhaps the final minute of this match. A tense neck-and-neck battle between Fort Wayne FC and Atlas's U-23 squad. Maybe a chance for the dagger right here as Oliveira stands at the ready. Oliveira on the wing. Feeds it inside to Uma. And now Bull Run around the corner flag as that ball is out of bounds. Atlas running out of time. A desperation boot. And a great sliding tackle by Hassan. We'll see if the center official awards one last chance. That ball won back by Fort Wayne. And that will do it. The Cardiac Kids get it done again. A tally in the 88th minute by Rude Snyder-Bobrun puts Fort Wayne back in the win column, unofficially a 1-0 victory in an international friendly against U-23 of Atlas FC. What a match.
What a night for Fort Wayne. What a night for football in Fort Wayne. It's always good to receive great teams like Atlas that face a good challenge for Fort Wayne FC. And we could see here today young players coming and playing for the team. We could see players that didn't have a lot of minutes during the season getting their minutes here. And on the end of the day, a win for Fort Wayne FC. So a perfect night for the club.
And how big is that, too, for Mike Avery's team, knowing they had lost back-to-back matches in regular season play? What does that do for the psyche of this team just to get that monkey off their back a little bit?
Yeah, it's good to have like these breath that we said, right? Fort Wayne coming from back-to-back losses in division play. We have a friendly here playing against a different team, and then we win again. We start getting this confidence again, so it's very important for Fort Wayne FC.
No doubt about it. Once again, final score, Fort Wayne 1, Atlas FC U-23 0. Again, Fort Wayne FC, this is the first leg of back-to-back friendlies before they wrap up with 2 Valley Division matches in a span of 4 days. The only match that fans will probably want to pay attention to is Tuesday when Lexington FC has their next match. Again, the magic number for Fort Wayne FC is 4 points. So if Lexington were to lose or draw, that would go towards that magic number. So a loss would put Fort Wayne just 1 point away from clinching the division. A draw would make that magic number 3. But in all likelihood, Fort Wayne has got to win at least one more game and probably will have to win their last 2 matches.
Yeah, it's important for Fort Wayne to do their job, to do what's to win the teams that are in front of them. And of course, everybody's going to be watching this game. If Lexington want to make things easier for Fort Wayne, I'm sure they're going to take it.
No doubt about it. Well, hey, I'm sure the fans here, both the Atlas fans, the Fort Wayne fans, they got their money's worth tonight. And always, always a great match on hand in front of one of the best attended matches that you will see this summer. One last time, alongside Luca Mota, Braden Carroll, and the rest of our phenomenal crew here at Bishop Darcy Stadium, I'm Josh Ayen, wishing everyone a good night. Final score, Fort Wayne FC 1, Atlas FC U-23 0.
For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
There was an empty lot sitting by my gas station. I always wondered what I can do with that lot. Back in 2012, built that laundry. I was always looking for some local bank where they could make decisions right on the spot. It's very convenient, and a lot of the employees at ProFed know me personally. So I asked them for a loan, and they actually came to our facility to give us a loan for the real estate as well as for the equipment. Before I came to United States from India, I had a business for 10 years in India. So I have always been entrepreneurial. Until last year, we had 8 gas stations. We had 40 single-family houses. We have about 5,000 apartments all over the nation. Profed has always offered me whatever I wanted to get to that level. Profed is a good partner to be with.
Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Behind every flawless performance,
or game-changing meeting,
or important broadcast,
and even a powerful Sunday morning worship service,
there are people just like us.
well, us actually.
Our mission is to partner with you
to design the best audio, visual, and technology experience that meets your needs.
and then step back behind the curtain to make sure it always runs without a glitch.
We are Force Tech.